The house stood alone at the edge of the town, old, broken, and silent. Most people avoided it and whispered strange stories when they passed by. But the man who bought it did not believe in stories. His name was Ethan. He was tired of noise, tired of people, and tired of a world that never slowed down. When he saw the abandoned house for a very low price, he saw peace, not danger. The house was large, with cracked walls and dark windows. Tall grass covered the yard, and the front door creaked like it was warning him to stay away. Ethan smiled and unlocked it anyway. Inside, dust filled the air. The rooms were empty but strong. The house felt old, but not dead. People from the town tried to stop him. They said no one stayed there long. They said strange sounds came from under the house at night. Ethan only nodded and kept working. The first day passed quietly. He cleaned one room and set up a small bed. As night fell, the house became very quiet. Too quiet. The wind moved through broken windows, making soft sounds. The wooden floor made small cracks as it cooled. Ethan lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. Then he heard it. A soft sound. Not loud, not clear. It came from below the floor. Ethan sat up slowly. He listened, holding his breath. The sound stopped. He told himself it was just the house settling. Old houses made noise. That was normal. He lay back down. Minutes passed. Then the sound returned. This time it was different. It was not wood or wind. It sounded like a voice. Very soft. Very weak. Ethan's heart started to beat faster. He stood up and walked toward the hallway. The floor felt cold under his feet. The sound came again. A whisper. A broken word. Help. Ethan froze. His mind raced. No one should be here. He grabbed a flashlight and moved slowly toward the kitchen. The sound felt closer there. It came from beneath the floor. The light flickered for a second. Then again. Ethan swallowed hard. "Hello," he said softly. His voice echoed in the empty house. There was no answer. Only silence. He laughed nervously and shook his head. "I'm imagining things," he said to himself. He turned to leave. The floor suddenly vibrated under his feet. Just a little. But enough. Ethan jumped back. His flashlight fell to the floor. The light rolled and stopped near a cabinet. The whisper returned, clearer now. Still weak, but real. "Please." Ethan's fear changed into confusion. This was not a ghost story. This was not his imagination. He knelt down and pressed his hand against the floor. It felt solid. But something was beneath it. He noticed something strange. A small metal ring hidden under old dirt near the wall. It did not look like part of the house. Ethan pulled on it gently. Nothing happened. He pulled harder. The floor made a low sound. A thin line appeared. A hidden door. Ethan stepped back. His mind screamed at him to stop. But his feet stayed where they were. The whisper came again. This time closer. This time scared. "Don't leave." Ethan took a deep breath. He grabbed the ring again and pulled with all his strength. The hidden door slowly opened. Cold air rushed out from below. A strange smell filled the room. The flashlight flickered. Then went dark. Ethan stood at the edge of the opening. His heart pounding. His hands shaking. From the darkness below, he heard breathing. Not one, but more. 3 soft breaths. 3 voices whispering together. Speaking words he did not fully understand. Ethan took one step back. Then stopped. Whatever was under his house was alive. And it knew he was there. Ethan stood still at the edge of the hidden opening. The darkness below felt deep and heavy. Cold air touched his face like a warning. His heart told him to run. But the voices stopped him. They sounded scared. Not dangerous. Not angry. Ethan picked up his flashlight and hit it gently. The light came back, weak but enough. He slowly pointed it down into the opening. What he saw made his breath stop. There was a small underground room. Not made like the house. The walls were smooth and strange. 3 figures were huddled together in the corner. They were not human. But they were not monsters either. They looked like young women. Their skin had a soft glow, slightly blue and silver. Their eyes were larger than normal, shining in the light. When the light touched them, they moved back. Fear was clear on their faces. One of them raised her hands slowly. "Please," she said again. Her English was broken, but clear. Ethan raised his hands too. "I'm not here to hurt you," he said softly. The 3 girls looked at each other. They whispered in a language Ethan did not understand. One of them was taller and stood in front. Her voice shook when she spoke. "We hide," she said. "Humans hunt." Ethan felt his chest tighten. "Who hunts you?" he asked. The girl pointed upward. "Not Earth humans," she said slowly. "Others." Ethan swallowed hard. "Aliens. Real aliens. Living under his house." "How long have you been here?" he asked. "Long," the smaller girl said. "Many seasons." Ethan looked around the underground room. There were strange devices, broken and dark. Metal pieces that looked burned. "Your ship," he said quietly. The girls nodded. "It fell," the tall one said. "We could not leave." Ethan felt something change inside him. These girls were not invaders. They were survivors. Suddenly, a low sound came from outside the house. A deep hum. Not a car. Not a plane. The girls froze. Their eyes filled with fear. "They found us," one whispered. Ethan moved quickly. He closed the hidden door, pulling it shut with effort. The floor locked back into place. "What found you?" Ethan asked, keeping his voice low. The tall girl looked at him. "Collectors," she said. "They take our kind." The hum grew louder. The house walls vibrated slightly. Ethan ran to the window and looked outside. A dark vehicle hovered above the trees. No lights, no sound from engines. It was searching. Ethan's mind raced. If they were found here, it would be his fault. He turned back to the floor. "You stay quiet," he whispered. "I will protect this place." The girls stared at him, shocked. "Why help us?" one asked. Ethan paused. "Because you asked for help," he said. "And because this is my house now." The hovering sound moved closer. A red light scanned the ground. Ethan moved fast. He pulled old boards over the hidden door. He spread dust and dirt to hide any sign. The light hit the house walls, passed over the windows, then stopped. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then the light moved away. The hum faded into the distance. Silence returned, heavy and tense. Ethan sat on the floor, breathing hard. His hands were shaking. Below him, the girls whispered again. This time not in fear, but in surprise. "You risked yourself," the tall girl said. Ethan nodded slowly. "I guess I did." The house above them stood quiet once more. But everything had changed. This was no longer just an abandoned house. It was a hiding place. A secret. And Ethan knew. This was only the beginning. Something would come back. Something stronger. And next time, hiding would not be enough. Morning light entered the house slowly. But peace did not come with it. Ethan did not sleep that night. Every small sound made him alert. Every shadow felt alive. He sat at the kitchen table, holding a cup of cold coffee. Below his feet, the 3 alien girls waited in silence. Just before sunrise, a soft knock came from under the floor. Ethan bent down and whispered, "It is safe for now." The hidden door opened slightly. One by one, the girls stepped into the kitchen. They looked weak, but curious. In daylight, they looked even more strange. And more human. Their clothes were torn and thin. Their skin glowed softly, like light underwater. Ethan brought food, bread, water, fruit. They touched it carefully, like they were afraid it might hurt them. The smallest girl tasted the bread. Her eyes widened. "Warm," she said softly. Ethan smiled for the first time. You need energy, he said. Food gives strength. The tall girl watched him closely. You are not afraid, she said. Ethan paused. I am, he answered honestly. But fear does not mean I stop. That confused them. Suddenly, the girl with bright silver eyes stiffened. She turned her head toward the wall. They are near, she said. Ethan stood up fast. What do you mean near? He asked. Not here, she said. But watching. Ethan felt cold inside. He remembered the red scanning light. He moved fast. He closed the windows. He covered the basement door again. The girls watched him with surprise. You fight with no weapon, the tall girl said. Ethan grabbed a metal tool from the table. A human weapon, he said. A mind that adapts. That word made them quiet. Hours passed slowly. The house stayed still. Too still. Then a sound broke the silence. A sharp beep. Not from outside. From under the house. The broken alien device began to glow. Lights flickered on its surface. The girls gasped. It activated, the silver-eyed girl said. It is calling them. Ethan did not panic. He grabbed a hammer and smashed the device without thinking. The girls cried out. Energy sparked and died. You destroyed it, one said, shocked. Ethan breathed hard. Then they cannot trace it. The tall girl stared at him. You choose instinct over technology, she said. Ethan shrugged. It works. Silence returned again. But now it was heavier. The girls sat together. They spoke softly to each other. Then the tall one stepped forward. Our people studied many species, she said. Humans were marked weak. Ethan raised an eyebrow. And now, he asked. The girl looked at him. Now we see strength. That was the moment everything changed. The silver-eyed girl suddenly gasped. Her eyes glowed brighter. I see a path, she whispered. What path? Ethan asked. A future, she said, shaking. Fire, fear, and you standing. Ethan felt his heart tighten. Standing where? He asked. The girl looked at the house. At the center. A loud boom shook the ground. Dust fell from the ceiling. Ethan ran to the window. Far away, trees bent unnaturally. Something invisible moved through the forest. They are coming, the tall girl said. Ethan clenched his fists. Then we stop hiding, he said. The girls stared at him. You cannot fight them, one said. Ethan smiled, calm and sharp. Humans are good at one thing, he said. Making impossible plans. Another shockwave hit. Closer now. The house lights flickered. Ethan stood between the girls and the door. This time, not out of fear, but choice. Whatever was coming wanted them. And it would have to go through a human first. The ground shook again. This time closer. The walls of the house groaned like they were waking up from a long sleep. Ethan stood still and listened. He did not panic. His mind was moving fast. Outside, the air felt heavy. The sky darkened even though the sun was still high. Something unseen was pressing down on the land. The alien girls moved closer to each other. Fear showed clearly on their faces. But they did not run. They scan life, the tall girl said. They will see us soon. Ethan looked around the house. Old furniture, weak walls, broken windows. This place was not a fortress. But it was home. Follow me, Ethan said. His voice was calm. Calmer than he felt inside. He led them to the center of the house. Where the floor was strongest. Where the hidden door was hardest to find. A low hum filled the air. Stronger now. Closer. The silver-eyed girl suddenly touched her head. They know, she whispered. They feel you. Me? Ethan asked. Yes, she said. You think loud. Ethan gave a short breath of a laugh. Then let them hear this, he said. The front door shook violently. Dust fell from the ceiling. A shadow passed over the windows. Something landed outside. Heavy. Powerful. A voice echoed through the house. Cold and sharp. Return the property. The girls flinched. Their hands glowed faintly with energy. Unstable. Dangerous. Ethan raised his hand. No, he said loudly. This house is mine. Silence followed. Then a low sound like laughter. You are irrelevant, the voice replied. The walls cracked. The door burst open. Cold air rushed inside. A tall figure stepped in. Metal skin, dark eyes, no emotion. A hunter. Behind it, more shapes moved. Watching, waiting. Ethan stepped forward, placing himself between the hunter and the girls. His heart pounded, but his feet did not move. They are under my protection, he said. The hunter tilted its head. Human protection is meaningless. Ethan clenched his fists. Then you do not understand humans. Suddenly, the smallest alien girl cried out. Energy burst from her hands, uncontrolled. The walls shook again. Stop, Ethan shouted. Not yet. The girls looked at him, shocked. You command us, the tall girl asked. I trust you, Ethan said. That goes both ways. The hunter raised its arm. A weapon began to form. Light gathering at its core. Time felt slow. Every breath felt heavy. The silver-eyed girl stepped closer to Ethan. I saw this moment, she whispered. You stand, and the future bends. Ethan did not understand fully. But he nodded. The weapon fired. A blast of energy rushed forward. Ethan moved without thinking. He pushed the girls aside. The blast hit him. Pain burned through his body. But he stayed standing. The hunter paused. Confused. Impossible, it said. Ethan coughed. Smoke rose from his clothes. You should have aimed for my heart, he said. The girls screamed. Energy flared brighter now. Controlled. Focused. This human chose us, the tall girl said. Now we choose him. Light filled the room. The house shook violently. Windows shattered outward. The hunters outside stepped back. For the first time, uncertain. Ethan felt warmth behind him. Power. Not his own. The girls stood together. Their energy joined. Focused forward. The tall hunter took a step back. This planet is no longer safe, it said. Ethan smiled weakly. Welcome to Earth, he whispered. The light exploded outward. Blinding. Powerful. Final. When it faded, the house still stood. Cracked. Broken. But standing. The hunters were gone. The sky slowly returned to normal. Ethan fell to his knees. Exhausted. Alive. The girls rushed to him. Fear replaced with something new. Respect. You should not live, the silver-eyed girl said softly. Ethan looked up, smiling. Humans do that a lot, he said. The house was silent again. But this silence felt different. This time, it felt earned. The smoke slowly cleared inside the house. Broken wood and dust covered the floor. Sunlight came through the shattered windows. Ethan lay on the ground, breathing slowly. Pain moved through his body. But his heart was still beating strong. The three alien girls knelt beside him. Fear slowly turning into relief. You are alive, the smallest one said softly. Her voice shook. Ethan opened his eyes and smiled weakly. Humans are hard to finish, he said. The tall girl placed her glowing hand near his chest. A soft warmth spread through him. The pain slowly faded. We should not use this power, she said. But you protected us. Ethan looked at her, surprised. You can heal, he asked. Yes, she said. But it costs much. Ethan shook his head. Save your strength, he said. I will heal my own way. That answer stayed with them. Outside, the land was quiet. No ships, no shadows, no hum. The silver-eyed girl looked toward the sky. They retreated, she said. For now. Ethan slowly sat up. For now is enough, he replied. The house was damaged. Walls cracked, roof broken. But it was still standing. Like him. They moved outside together. The morning air felt fresh. Free. The girls looked around the land. Trees, sky, birds. Simple things. This world is loud, the smallest girl said. But alive. Ethan nodded. Earth fights back, he said. The tall girl turned to him, serious. Our people believed humans were weak, she said. They believed humans break easily. Ethan smiled. We do break, he said. But we stand back up. She looked at him closely. Then bowed her head slightly. A sign of respect. You changed our view, she said. Not with power. But with choice. That moment felt heavy. Important. Days passed. The house was repaired slowly. Wood replaced. Windows fixed. The girls helped where they could. Learning human ways. Watching. Listening. At night, they sat together. Sharing quiet moments. Learning trust. One evening, the silver-eyed girl spoke again. There are others like us, she said. Hiding across stars. Ethan looked at the sky. Then maybe they need a place too, he said. You would invite them, the tall girl asked. Ethan nodded. Earth belongs to those who protect it, he said. The girls exchanged looks. Hope passed between them. Far above, unseen. A distant signal flickered. Short, weak, but alive. The universe had noticed. Somewhere beyond Earth. Eyes watched. And plans began to change. Back at the house. Ethan stood on the porch. Looking at the stars. He was still just a human. Still small in a big universe. But now, he was not alone. Behind him, 3 alien girls stood quietly. Not as refugees. But as allies. The abandoned house was abandoned no more. It had become a symbol. Of resistance. Of trust. Of humanity. And this was only the first story. Because when humanity chooses to stand, the universe learns to listen.